Genesis chapter 11, New American Standard Version. Now all the earth used the same language and the same words, and it came about, as they journeyed east, they found a plain in the land of Shinar and settled there. Then they said to one another, "Come, let us make bricks and fire them thoroughly." They used bricks for stone, and they used tar for mortar. And they said, "Come, let's build ourselves a city and a tower whose top will reach into heaven. And let's make a name for ourselves. Otherwise we will be scattered abroad over the face of all the earth." Now the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the men had built. And the Lord said, "Behold, they are one people, and they all have the same language, and this is what they have started to do. And now nothing which they plan to do will be impossible for them. Come, let us go down there and confuse their language, so that they will not understand one another's speech." So the Lord scattered them abroad from there over the face of the earth, and they stopped building the city. Therefore it was named Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of all the earth. And from there the Lord scattered them abroad over the face of all the earth. Now these are the records of the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old when he fathered Arpachshad 2 years after the flood. And Shem lived 500 years after he fathered Arpachshad, and he fathered other sons and daughters. Arpachshad lived 35 years and fathered Shelah. And Arpachshad lived 403 years after he fathered Shelah, and he fathered other sons and daughters. Shelah lived 30 years and fathered Eber, and Shelah lived 403 years after he fathered Eber, and he fathered other sons and daughters. Eber lived 34 years and fathered Peleg, and Eber lived 430 years after he fathered Peleg, and he fathered other sons and daughters. Peleg lived 30 years and fathered Reu, and Peleg lived 209 years after he fathered Reu, and he fathered other sons and daughters. Reu lived 32 years and fathered Serug, and Reu lived 207 years after he fathered Serug, and then he fathered also other sons and daughters. Serug lived 30 years and fathered Nahor, and Serug lived 200 years after he fathered Nahor, and he fathered other sons and daughters. Nahor lived 29 years and fathered Terah, and Nahor lived 119 years after he fathered Terah, and he fathered other sons and daughters. Terah lived 70 years and fathered Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Now these are the records of the generations of Terah. Terah fathered Abraham, Nahor, and Haran fathered Lot. Haran died during the lifetime of his father Terah, and in the land of his birth in Ur of the Chaldeans. Abraham and Nahor took wives for themselves. The name of Abraham's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and Iscah. Sarai was unable to conceive. She did not have a child. Now Terah took his son Abram and Lot, the son of Haran, his grandson, and his daughter-in-law Sarai, his son's Abram's wife, and they departed together from Ur of the Chaldeans to go to the land of Canaan. And they went as far as Haran and settled there. The days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. These are the words of the Lord, and I'm sorry for my pronunciation.